Join me as I combine fluffy eggs, potatoes, homemade sausage gravy, and tender biscuits to make a hearty morning meal, breakfast pot pie. The first layer of our pot pie is going to be scrambled eggs. You're going to need to scramble 6 eggs. To my 6 eggs, I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of milk to help with the fluffiness. To cook our eggs, I have a large skillet here that I've placed on medium-high heat. I've added in 1 tablespoon of butter that allowed it to melt. I like my eggs just a little more brown than normal, so I'll probably cook mine 3 to 5 minutes, constantly stirring them to make that scrambled egg. There's our fluffy scrambled eggs. I'm going to season them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add them to my greased baking dish. Before I start my sausage gravy, I'm going to take 2 small russet potatoes and place them in the microwave for 5 to 9 minutes. Make sure you poke holes in them so they don't explode. You'll know they're done when they're fork tender. Now let's start the sausage gravy. In the same pan that I cooked my eggs, I've added 1 pound of breakfast sausage. I have it on medium-high heat, and I'm going to cook it until it's nice and brown. Our sausage is nice and browned. There are about 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra oil on the bottom. You want to keep that there. If you don't have it, you can add butter to replace it. To the sausage, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and then I'm going to cook it for about 1 minute. For seasoning, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then finally, I'm going to slowly add 2½ cups of milk. I'm going to reduce my heat to medium, and then I'm going to continually stir this until it thickens. The gravy is perfectly thickened. Now we're ready to chop up those potatoes that we cooked in the microwave. Then you want to place your potatoes on top of the eggs. On top of the potatoes, I'm going to sprinkle about 1 cup of freshly shredded cheddar cheese. And then I'm going to cover everything with that homemade sausage gravy. The final step is to create the nice crispy crust on top of our pot pie. I'm going to use a box of Cheddar Bay biscuits to do that. I'll follow the ingredient directions on the back of the box. And there's our prepared biscuit mixture. The seasoning packet that's included in the box, I'm not going to use in this recipe. I'll save it for another one. When topping your pot pie, you can just spread the mixture over the top if you like. I like to get a little fancy, and I'm going to use a scoop. I'm going to place our breakfast pot pie in a 425-degree oven for 15 to 17 minutes. You want the top to be nice and golden brown. And there you have it, breakfast pot pie.